Hi everyone, and welcome to the recruiting portion of the Workday training. Today we're going to cover creating a job requisition. But before we get started, I just wanted to point out that within Workday, an open seat is a position, and the job requisition is the permission to put someone in that open seat. So going forward, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and create a requisition. And as you can see, we're on the main dashboard of Workday, and we are acting as Myron Lewis, who will be the hiring manager for this job requisition. We're going to scroll down here to the recruiting worklet, where you'll see under Actions, we have the ability to go ahead and click the Create Job Requisition button. So that's what we'll go ahead and do. So we're going to create a new requisition with Myron Lewis as the hiring manager. We're going to go ahead and click Create New Position for an employee, and we're going to go ahead and click OK. So as you can see, we came over to the recruiting information screen, which will allow us to add and modify any information appropriate for this particular requisition. So we'll notice here that we have the number of openings would be 1 for this one open seat position. And the reason that we're opening this rec is because it's an add to staff, so it's an additional role that we'll be creating. Now we're going to go ahead under recruiting instructions, and we're going to select post internally and externally for this position. Now please note that the recruiting instruction field is not connected to the posting process. It is only to note to others that the position will be posted and exactly where it will be posted to. So whether it be posted internally, externally, or both. And in this case, we would want to do both. And also note that it is the primary recruiter's responsibility to go ahead and post that, and they have that functionality. The recruiting start date is automatically populated to today's date, which is November 15, 2017. But we do have the ability to update the target hire date for this position. And something to note too while selecting a target hire date is that you'd want to be able to select a date that would be realistic in terms of having the new hire, making sure that the new hire that you're going to move forward with is a realistic start date. So 2 weeks, usually typically from a date that you're working on a particular requisition. We'll go ahead and select, in this case, November 22nd, because we would not be able to hire before the target hire date. So we want to make sure that we allow ourselves enough time in the event we do hire someone sooner than an expected target hire date. We filled out all the required fields. We can go ahead and move on to the next section, which would be updating the job details profile. And this particular requisition is going to be a sales associate role. So we'll want to go ahead and include that in the title. And we'll also want to make sure that we choose that appropriate job profile below. And we can simply go ahead and type that into this section here. And you'll see the commission sales associate. So this particular job requisition will come up. We'll go ahead and select that. And the job description summary will automatically come up with the selected job profile. So note here that it's a placeholder, but this will actually populate to the appropriate job profile and job description. So we'll go ahead and move down to the worker subtype for the commission sales position. And this is a regular position, so we'll want to go ahead and select that option. It's also a full-time opportunity, so we'll want to go ahead and make sure we choose that. But note that you also have the ability to choose part-time under this section if for some reason the sales role is a part-time position. And under the primary location, we'll want to make sure that we include the appropriate location of the position, in which case we're looking at Brookfield, Connecticut. So we'll go ahead and you'll notice that that will come up. But if you were to go ahead and select all locations would actually come up under this primary location section. And another feature here is that if there was a second location, you'd have the ability to add an additional location for the section as well. And under the organization section, Bob's Discount Furniture LLC is listed as appropriate. The cost center, which is associated to the particular role as well as location of the requisition. So all of this information is accurate. We're able to go ahead and move on to the next section. Any attachments that we would need to add in addition to the job description or any additional detail we'd want to include this is where we'd be able to go ahead and add that information. Now moved on to the compensation section, and this will allow us the opportunity to go ahead and make the necessary adjustments to the pay guidelines. As we scroll down, you'll notice that the pay range is also included, as well as the grade, which is an hourly position. So with this little pencil icon here, we'll be able to go ahead and actually input the amount, the hourly rate, which is $12. Currency will remain as US dollars, and it's an hourly position, so we'll leave that as the frequency. All this information is updated appropriately, so we can go ahead and go on to the next section, which will bring us to the final review, where we're able to go ahead and review all the information that we have gone ahead and added under each section, just to make sure that everything looks accurate and appropriate for this particular job requisition, including the recruiting information, the target hire date, all the job details and job information. And if anything did not come up as accurate, this is where you'd be able to go ahead and just make those final edits before submitting. And everything looks good to go here. So we can go ahead and hit submit. And as you'll notice, it has now gone to Cindy Johnson, who is the primary recruiter under this particular organization. So Cindy, as the primary recruiter, would then take on the responsibility of approving this requisition that Myron Lewis, the hiring manager, just sent over to her. And then she would then post the position internally and externally, as that is her main functionality as a primary recruiter. And finally, she would continue the pre-hire process and eventually closing out the requisition. And that ends the segment of creating a job requisition.